This is your old pond right now, and for 30 years it's been running, and there it is today.
I made you half a sandwich.
Come on, put the toes in there. People pay a lot for that pedicure. You didn't throw anything on it, did you?
A man who truly loves his job. What a dork.
Well, the liner was the original liner, was 33 years old.
Welcome to living the Aquascape lifestyle. I know I am in Brian's neighborhood when I see his truck driving the YouTube van around, having a great time on Labor Day. I have not seen the little feature he put in the front yard. I only saw it on the Team Aquascape vlogs. Very cute. He put this in with his kids for a winter project. I don't think there's anybody's front yard that has that in it when you walk up to the front of the house. Well, I could tell somebody was here. There's Brian. Happy Labor Day.
I made you half a sandwich.
You didn't throw anything on it, did you?
No, I got it earlier. Living with a pond is how much it evolves and changes over time. Just look at how different the plants are around it. Like that is a weeping Scotch pine back there. This is a tiger-eyed sumac. This plant wasn't even here. The tiger-eyed sumac has changed and spread and moved around quite a bit. This is a contorted beech tree, and I really wanted to kind of hide the waterfall, create that mystery, so not until you got over here did it look different, or did you really discover that there was a waterfall there. I've also added this fire pit area over in here. You can see the smoke. You can come down this way. If we're sitting down over here, then you get the view of the urn. The birds go crazy on the top of that thing. And then another thing I love to do with my pond is add the color, the impatiens. So these are actually planted right in the water. So if we pull this stuff back, they're way back in there. But I've just got some pennywort mixed in there, some impatiens, a little splash of color. Every year I move them around to see where I like them best. One year I had a giant elephant ear over here. I felt like it got a little too big. Another year I had one of those angel trumpet plants there. Same thing, I felt like it got a little too big. This year I decided to keep it a little bit more open. You come up this way, you see Matthew's patio bowl that he's been working on. Same thing, love the impatiens. My biofalls is tucked way back in there, so you don't really see the point of origin where the water comes from. The lilies are fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of aquatic plants, but I do love the water lilies, and they're just always flowering. Greg took my tropical, but he needed it more than I did, because my tropical was sitting over here, and it took up way too much of the kids' swimming space. All the plants have matured quite a bit. There's a big paperbark maple, and I think that's the fun part of a pond, is just how it evolves over time. That red bud is now cantilevering way out over the pond. Before, it just used to be a tiny little specimen. There's the Wetland filter, the main filter of the whole thing. I clean that once a year. I love hydrangeas by the pond because at this time of year when the flowers have died off, leftover flower just kind of droops and hangs onto the rocks.
Do you like sleepovers at Aqualand?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's fun.
I think it is fun.
What's your favorite thing to play there?
Hide and seek or dodgeball.
Not bad. So you've had some birthday parties there, right?
Yep.
And Abby was invited, but Matthew wasn't, right?
Yep.
So Brian, what I remember was you said, hey, I want to get some basalt rocks for my pond. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And then didn't you get like 50 or something?
I think there's more than 4.
Yeah.
It is the only pond I know of that has a basalt column waterfall.
It is pretty nice. And what's amazing, and this is what I love to tell people, is that's the filter. That's the Wetland filter, and you get this kind of water quality from it. So not bad. This is living the aquascape lifestyle. And what is the size of your yard? I mean, it's a traditional backyard.
Like 30 feet. deep. 30 feet from this corner to that corner, and it's like 65, 70 feet from that corner.
So 30 by 70.
And then maybe 100 at the widest point.
Because it's kind of like
and then 60 feet right here at the house.
Yeah, 60 feet. So 30 by 100 whole backyard. It's the same size as the neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the neighbors. They got cute pups out here, so we'll say hi. Hello, pup. And that's a typical backyard right there with just grass and a cute little girl, okay? And a cute puppy, 2 cute puppies. But that's traditional. This is not traditional, and I'm definitely more about the not traditional. 13 years with a pond. How many years have you lived here?
14.
14 years?
Yeah, didn't take long.
No, didn't take long. So I'm gonna put a link to the construction of this and Brian's story, but we need more people living the aquascape lifestyle. And I am back. I am visiting the first ever pond that I built for a paying customer back in 1991, and about 6-7 weeks ago, I rebuilt it for a Team Aquascape vlog because my friends, they are longtime customers, said, I think we're ready for an upgrade. And so we ended up rebuilding their pond from 1991. So this is the morning routine for you guys, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Coffee by the pond.
And Zoe.
With Zoe. Zoe's always in charge.
And we got a little bit of incense burning, Jim, so.
Peace out.
Now, when you came in to Aqualand this winter, you said, I think I want you guys to do a clean out. And when you're doing a clean out, why don't you just rebuild it? So have you always done your own clean out?
Yeah.
With first year Aquascape did a clean out for this pond, and you said, why don't you give it a facelift?
Exactly. Well, the liner was the original liner. It was 33 years old.
That's amazing.
And that was, you know, after talking with you, I mentioned that, and you said, that's insane, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you came out and took a look and said, hey, I got some great ideas.
And it's basically the same shape, but we just have an updated design.
You made it a little larger. You made it a little wider.
Oh, we did, yeah,
A little more grand.
So the daily ritual for you is just to come out and start your days with a cup of coffee by the pond with the dog.
Every morning.
And speaking of dogs, I have something to show you. Remember this?
Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that.
And Allison, who's now living in New York City.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh, that's so
So Jan Golden Pond. So this is from August 2nd, 1992. Yes, yeah, my first pond. So this is your old pond right now, and for 30 years it's been running, and there it is today. That article was really wrote my business.
That is awesome. That was in the Chicago Trib.
That was in the Tribune, but where you found me was a classified ad in the Wheaton Leader.
Oh yes.
I was looking at the Wheaton Leader, and Jim always talked about getting a pond, and I saw the ad that you and your dad placed.
Yeah, $80 ad, yeah.
When you came over, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a yes. It was so nice.
Every once in a while, I'll go to breakfast with one of my buddies.
Yeah.
He'll bring this with him and say, hey, look it, remember this, and then there was a couple.
Wait, he'll bring the article?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, so he saved it.
Oh yeah, and he'll bring a couple of different stories. Every once in a while there'll be a little thing in there about any kind of little clipping. They'll say, hey look, I've been keeping tabs on you, and they'll bring that.
Oh, that's great. I built this by myself in 4 days.
You did.
With a shovel.
Yeah.
You dug it out by hand.
You did our brick patio.
That was harder for me than the pond, and now obviously the brick patio after 30 years has been redone, but it's just it's just a great setting in back here.
I mean, even the patio lasted all that time. It's just that we upgraded.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me back for a cup of coffee, because there's no place I'd rather be than hanging out by a pond. What's the longest one that's been in there?
Jeff, the biggest guy.
How long has Jeff been there?
Jeff has been in there for at least 7 years.
Okay.
Jeff was born in there. Just everybody in there but 2 little babies have been born inside there.
Well, I know that you wanted me to put their garage back in, so we put their garage back in.
And they hide out from the heron, and we lost a couple really big guys that I had for so long.
You know, I really like this log that we put in there. And the stump that I brought in, it's all of the art. But the thing that was crazy was the berm had completely eroded over the years, and now it's rock, so it won't erode.
At nighttime, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
The thing all lights up, and then some of the lights reflect up on the tree.
So it's been a pretty good investment over the years.
Totally.
I think we got our money's worth.
Twice.
What's the coolest thing you did, Greg? Not the coolest, but
Because it made it more soft. It softened it up.
Exactly. It's just a great transition from the water to the hard surface.
I mean, how many years we thought of what can we put there?
And Jim didn't know that this is a perennial, so it'll come back next year.
Yeah, exactly.
We just found that out.
Yeah, and we're going to add a couple impatiens, and then the tropical lily. Every year we're just going to replace with a different tropical lily. So you just treat the tropical like an annual. And then you know what will be fun for next year is you get a night blooming lily, and it will still be blooming until 10 a.m. the next morning. So right now it's early in the morning. We're having our coffee. The plants don't really start blooming until 10. Well, a night bloomer starts blooming at 10 p.m. and blooms until 10 a.m. the next morning.
Well, it's 12 hours, 24 hours.
Yes. And this all started from a classified ad in the Wheaton Leader newspaper. This was my very first sale out here in 1991, and the fact that they're still living the aquascape lifestyle is what I love. And listen, this is a fantastic career. This is my entire career that I have spent building these things. If you're interested in a career building water features and changing people's lives and how they use their space, check out the link below to find a certified aquascape contractor by you to live the lifestyle. And if you're interested in actually creating the lifestyle for people, check out the link below to find the Aquascape Academy. You can actually come to Chicago. I'm personally teaching that. I think the greatest satisfaction in life is helping someone else reach their fullest potential. And if you come to Chicago, I promise you, I can teach you how to do a career building these things, changing people's lives, making a great living from doing it, and having a blast. And you too can be able to say, I love my job.